the GOP is blocking journalists from covering Trump's renomination. That's a first in modern history. He doesn't want photographers covering the sparse convention attendance that is going to happen because of coronavirus. If there isn't going to be a raucous crowd, there aren't going to be any pictures. Conventions typically provide campaigns a boost. It is a grim statement that Republicans don't feel they can benefit from coverage. Don't look at us. We are hideous, LOL. The leaks are going to be unreal. Calling it now. So apparently now we have to infiltrate the convention with spy cameras. I wonder what steps they are going to take to search everyone at the door/gate. What about staff and vendors? Calling the bartender who got Romney on tape with the 47% comment, https://www. Mother Jones. com/politics/2012/09/ secret video Romney private fundraiser/. You know what to do. Are they having a closed door session? Maybe someone should storm in. Republicans are blocking journalists from covering Trump's renomination because they have no choice but nominating him, and they are ashamed of it. They deserve a wipeout this November. This will backfire horribly. I realize the orange tyrant wants to control the message that the media will somehow misinterpret. As of recent, and with his great effort to discredit the media, people tend to rely more on first-person recordings that people collect on their mobile phones. Individuals posting stuff on Twitter and on FB don't have to follow the rules and standards that the news agencies do. So in essence, he's created a situation where multiple people can capture his disastrous election campaign and interpret it however the fuck they want to. Such a perfect opportunity for the people that fucking hate him to capture him as a piece of shit without any news/media organizations to screen it. So it will be the lowest rated renomination in modern history. Fantastic news. Was looking forward to hearing another Michelle Obama speech. I'm hoping this is because they are going to dump Trump and they don't want to do it on camera. Highly doubtful, but man, would that be hilarious. Hood and robe are required attire. If you arrive without these items, you will be provided loners. GOP, all media is biased against me. Also GOP, no media allowed in a meeting regarding your public servants. That loud noise you hear is a sigh of relief from dozens of journalists who would have been the only people wearing masks in that disgusting COVID convention. They already made a movie about it called Society in 1989. If I were the Biden team, I would announce the VP pick during the GOP convention, stealing the open spotlight away from the pubs. If reporters aren't allowed in anyway, the Dems can steal the convention bounce away from them. Hey, it's his party and he'll cry if he wants to. But only behind closed doors. I don't blame them. It must be terribly embarrassing to nominate a man that has destroyed a nation. No one wants to see that anyway. The only reason I would want to see it is to see the spectacle when he replaces Pence. Calling it now, Trump is going to back out of an open debate. Sounds like it's going to be a contested convention. Isn't that what the right was bragging about happening with Biden and Bernie? I think this is because the GOP is planning to nominate someone else and don't want the entire circus playing out on live TV. It's worth noting that only 300 or so of the 1,800 delegates are actually going. Who chose those delegates? What are their allegiances? Also, the fact that Trump isn't preparing a speech means one of two things. The first being my suggestion that he's not going to get the nomination, or the second being that the RNC won't let him use Obama's speech from his 2012 nomination as his own. For you, it is safe to go to work, it is safe to take your kids to public school, but they want to make sure the business and school has immunity if they are wrong. For them, they can't risk their voters, and it is too dangerous to let the media observe. Mask of the Red Death. In real life. This is remarkable because this process consists of crowning Donald Trump as the GOP's nominee for president. A narcissist like Trump would surely love to broadcast this to as many people as possible. The only reason he doesn't want it seen is because they expect pushback from some of the delegates or something equally embarrassing to happen. So this also means that media networks have to give him, his speech and the convention zero airtime, we couldn't get in. Meanwhile they can just Joe Biden. Maybe they plan on stabbing him to death like the Senate did Caesar. How will people know? Will there be white puffs of smoke like he was elected Pope? They stipulated journalists. That means Fox News and OAN staffers can come. I've got a crazy conspiracy theory. President Trump may have the big Rona, and the GOP leadership is worried. He was photographed recently looking like he had come out of a doctor's appointment. I don't think he stroked out again, I think he's trying to avoid being seen coughing. That or it's worse and they do have to find a replacement. They would definitely want to do that behind closed doors. People need to learn what Nazis did when they took power to understand why the GOP has become the party of neo-Nazis trying to take control of the media to fool the masses. You will learn some of us have learned from history and will not allow to be repeated. Fuck you and all GOP neo-Nazis, we will take you down. Clint Eastwood is going to make a repeat performance at a national convention, but this time he will talk to hundreds of empty chairs, and a few empty suits. Do you know how valuable a hidden video of this shit show might be worth? Someone in his ranks must want Trump to do a hard face plant, and there's no better way to humiliate him by releasing it to the press. They don't want the next Herman Cain, photographed, without a mask there. He's already stolen Obama's inauguration crowd picture and used it on his Twitter before he was busted and pulled it down. Donny Fraud still playing his followers for fools 4 years later. Not a first for any fascist party. Guess we've moved on to the secret Klan rally phase. Maybe they'll finally dump Trump, is just a nonsense. $10 bucks says Breitbart and OAN will be there. This and Trump's Walter Reed visit yesterday makes me. Let me put on my tinfoil hat. They are trying quietly to remove Grandpa before the party goes down in flames. They made the announcement that the GOP would be doing to the renomination in private, not because of COVID but to buy time for Trump to not notice, and are negotiating his resignation with his minders. The nomination will go to someone else. With the cameras gone, Trump has no incentive to be there, and the GOP can plan their survival strategy without Trump screaming and shitting the bed. Reading the comments, it seems that the two most common theories are that they'll oppose Trump and don't want the media to see that, or that the GOP is now so racist/fascist that the general public shouldn't get to know about it. However, what if this is essentially a mob meeting? The Mueller report taught us that Trump runs his presidency like a mob boss. So what if this is some mafia-like setup, where Trump establishes that he has everyone by the balls and they have to obey or else? They certainly wouldn't want the public to see that either. And if he truly has everyone by the balls, there won't be any leaks. However, it would also mean that any leaked footage would be very compromising. And that anyone leaking it should not be afraid to share their bed with a horse's head. Well, if you have a better plan for discussing the final solution for liberals, I'd like to hear it. The monkey god ceremony is very secret and only for his followers. As W. Poe says, democracy dies in darkness. Fascists like to hide. Isn't there always this convention bounce? And is this something they are just conceding 100% now? Wow, I did not see that coming. See, plausible deniability.